Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, my fellow YouTubers. Welcome to Lee's video blog. I'm Ari Sky. I have a couple updates for you all. Please excuse me doing other things, but I decided to hold on a sec. I've decided to find my remote because it keeps going missing. Here it is. And mute the TV. There. So I want to make this short and sweet this morning because I have nothing better to do, and I frankly want to find out what's going on. My computer's acting up this morning anyway, so I was kind of bummed, you know. So anyways, one of the things I'm kind of upset about is what's going on in the world. So a couple of my moderators have been worried about and as you can see, I'm giving you guys an update. So, and hopefully we don't have enough people commenting because the other day's fiasco was bad. So, hold on a sec. So, doesn't take this long. I'm swamped brain. There. So, before we get to stimulus check updates, I'd like to apologize to Pee Wee once again for Chloe's actions. It's not my responsibility, but as the administrator, I feel it's my duty and responsibility as mutiny. You know, the admiral goes down with the fleet. So, anyways, I want to apologize to Pee Wee. I also want to apologize to Dan. Chloe shouldn't have done that. So, you know, Pee Wee and Dan, if you're watching this, I apologize. You guys are wondering real quick what's going on. I will make the general chat after stimulus so I can explain what's going on first. So I've been waiting for stimulus news. That's one of the reasons why I told moderator Pee Wee and Dan and others that I would not be making videos every day for clickbait like everyone else. People say, oh, well, your videos aren't true. Well, I've had people found my email address, and they literally said, hey, I've looked over your videos in the past on stimulus, you've been spot on. So, you know, I said, well, thank you. So I've been offline, relaxing, playing video games. I've been playing something like this. I was trying to convince Hannah to, like this. Yeah. So one of my games I'm working on is something like this, all right? But I got the newer version that my cousin gave me, or my sister gave me, sorry. And that, yeah, it seems Chloe's going to have to get off her butt. I'm going to put this here. There. Aaron doesn't mind having my DS on his urn, I don't think. So anyways, I've been playing games like this, Stardew Valley and etc., okay? So because of that, I don't know where my box went to the other game. But anyways, I've spent probably a good 40 plus hours on my game so far. I think it's over here, maybe. I don't know. Anyways, it doesn't matter what I'm playing right now. Here it is. So I'm playing this version. It's called the complete version. It has extra content, 6 new marriage counting, and the only thing I don't like with Harvest Moon games is they don't allow you to have same-sex marriages. But anyways, shall we get down to business on stimulus checks? That's why you're here, right? So I've been waiting for stimulus checks, all right? Literally waiting for stimulus check updates. So far, I had a feeling, as I said, people messaged me and said, hey, you're completely right. They're debating with the impeachment trial, which I said that was probably going to be number 1 or number 2 on those. That's actually number 2. First one is Biden's cabinet picks. That's number 1. And then the third is stimulus. And so there were 16 Republicans. So half the Senate, basically, the Republicans said no more stimulus, no more, we're not going to be bailing people out. Some of them actually, like Susan Collins, bankrolled on you voting for her. Oh, Susan Collins, I won. Or someone else who was bankrolling on money too, which they were bankrolling. See, here's how the political spectrum works, right? American people's in a pandemic, right? They want to focus on vaccine production, but how can you focus on vaccine production if you don't have money to focus on it? So China's coming. Another thing was interesting. China is going to go to a cashless society. So I got my dip somewhere around here. I'm doing my dip this morning while I talk to you guys because this is important. All right. Now my father-in-law said he'd email me as soon as he's done with the shower. So if we were supposed to do some business, otherwise I'd be gaming today. Okay. I do not like revolving around other people, so I've decided to take a vacay and do stimulus updates because you guys got to hear this, all right? People have been emailing, threatening to call the sheriff on me if I don't give a welfare check. So, anyway. So, here's the deal, all right? Here is the dealio. Right now, it looks like you're looking at maybe March to April. They're not going to be passing it fast enough because as of February 9th, they're hoping to have the trial impeachment begin. As Pee Wee knows, that's not a word I don't like. I mean, they've already crucified the guy how many times? Twice. I mean, he made history with that, but still, it sucks, So, anyways, you guys have been wondering, $2,000 or 14. Well, I did get an email confirmation the other day from my local people. It was going to be $1,400 top up. So you get a $600 down payment, $1,400 top up, and then you wait for a fourth stimulus check. Unfortunately, $1,400 top up's not coming. Some people get a $2,000 top up. Unfortunately, the problem is the country went down. The country is thoroughly and broken. And the reason for that is, as I said before, there's not much news to do. So I'm not, I'm only here to let you know that right now there's a stone wall. And as you know, this is the end of January. So we have approximately 5 days until January ends. Well, almost 4, right? So 4 days till January ends on your stimulus, right? That means they're not going to be able to hammer out anything. They have between now and February 9th to hammer it out. But do you think they're going to have it hammered out fast enough for his cabinets? No. Janet Yellen was picked, but Janet Yellen's trying to basically fire up the stimulus checks to the people that didn't get it, But they also said that you might be waiting till tax time because right now there's not enough money going around. So, Is our stream connection fine? Let me look. I don't even know what's going on. There. Apparently had to fix the camera again. All right, so you guys' stimulus news is that right now there is none, okay? There is no money coming down the pipe. And the reason for it is this. Right now they're debating, okay? They say they might bring it on the floor maybe February 1st to February 5th. Otherwise, you guys might not get a stimulus check. And the reason for it is because Americans are hurting. That's right. Americans are hurting. Probably Chloe playing a game in there, and that's why the damn delay. Chloe's hurting. Okay. What the fuck is wrong? What the fuck is wrong with this? Now, maybe the fucking sensor's cleaned. I know Higgins would tell me to clean the damn sensor, I think. Somehow you have to clean the damn thing. I don't know. If I sit on the bed, the damn thing basically I don't know. Hold on, let me see. Is there any controls here? Nah, it's all good. So I don't know. All right, so Basically, what's going on is they're debating on income level. Okay, so for example, all the elderly and the disabled say, "Well, I'm entitled because I'm on SSI." They don't give a shit. They're trying to determine if you guys on SSI deserves a fucking check again. They're trying to determine if anyone on disability insurance, railroad veterans, which, by the way, I've been listening and I contacted my people the other day. They said that the whole $200 a month thing for the SSI and Social Security was a scam. It was a lie. The problem is you already got a cost of living adjustment for 1.2 percent, no, 1.3%. So they said there's nothing that can be done. So right now they're debating on who gets the money. You see, they're figuring anyone make $150,000 will get a check and bankroll. And if someone has got a job $150,000, like my cousin or more, then he's not entitled to a stimulus. They want to cut it down. So they're talking about cutting the income for thresholds down to say $75,000. Unfortunately, again, if they cut it down, it could be delayed to March or April or even May due to the fact that they think $75,000 a living is, pretty hard. So, my cousin today basically messaged me a link about her selling her house. It's like, it makes me sad. It literally makes me sad. Makes me sad that they're selling their house. They're literally selling their house. Okay, they email and they're like, "We're selling the house." It's like, well, why don't you send me an email saying, "Come down there, get away from this blue state." I mean, literally, I'm living in misery anyways here. But anyways, enough about that. So they want to take $75,000 and they're going to argue with it. That's too high. 75,000 income holders. How many people make 75 grand as a waitress? Unless you're a highway, Clinton, hooker, or bar, no. So they want to cut it down. I think they're going to try to cut it down to under $30,000. The problem is most of the people that got hit are part of the hospitality industry. They're calling, waitresses, waiters, dishwashers, restaurants, etc. Right? No one can eat in. Now, I haven't checked lately to see if there's any eat-in. That's the thing. I haven't checked to see if the government shut down. I haven't been around, so I don't know. But anyways, the hospitality industry's hurting, right? And because of it, they need to take and lower the income gap. I mean, literally, there's people work at home on So to me, the income gap needs to be dropped right now. The elderly are like, "Oh yeah, well, we're entitled to a stimulus." They had several analytics. I've been following this last video I did. By the way, I've been basically, like I said, trying to, and I've been waiting for it. That's why I told moderator Pee Wee and moderator Dan. Gail never was around. Hannah knows this, but I'm taking a YouTube vacay a lot right now because there's no news. I mean, literally, one of the guys that I talked to recently does YouTube vids emailed me and he said there's nothing to go on. He says you're completely right. He says you basically bailed out when you did right now while everyone else is sinking because there's nothing. There's too many people out there wanting stimulus checks, and the only updates I can give you is they're going to take the 150,000, try to drop it to 75,000. It's going to be stalled in the Senate for a couple weeks. And then they'll drop it down to, say, $40,000. And then again, people are going to bitch about it, saying that's too low. What about people, they're going to basically delay it. And right now, the joke going around, I know Pee Wee doesn't want to hear this because, I did email her and apologize. So you heard it from me. I do apologize for Chloe's actions. Apparently, a mental health professional blames me for this whole mess because I said a true woman doesn't, well, we won't go into what defines a woman. Dan and I were talking about that. So, well, anyway, so basically what happened was the American people turned around, right? And TV looks kind of crooked. Oh yeah, it did get shifted. Chloe shifted it. It seems. I'll fix it later. Anyway, so basically, what's going on is the American people. You guys tuned in tonight to see what stimulus updates. Feel free to post comments if you wish. That's the live chat. So basically, they want to lower it down to say $20,000 or $30,000, maybe a $40,000. If they go $50,000, that's too much because some people, they want to make it income specific. So also, the other rumor is they want to cut out SSDI. They want to cut out retirement survivors, veterans, railroad. The whole gamut of government programs to cover more people. Unfortunately, Moderator Pee Wee, I would agree with her that the money should go to everyone due to inconvenience. Unfortunately, government's not playing favorites, so as long as they control the House and Senate, they're going to basically do gun control measures and everything else to disarm the people, which will really hurt people, So, anyway, so the stimulus is there's a roadblock right now. We just confirmed it was $1,400 instead of $2,000. $2,000 if you didn't get to $600. $1,400 is the top up. Unfortunately, right now the president's been in almost 1 week, and I gotta say, President Biden has done a fucking shitty job. Unfortunately, I mean, I can go on about that. I mean, literally, what you're going to be seeing is a lot of problems in the future. A lot of problems till the next president takes over, and hopefully it's a rematch with Trump, because Trump should not have lost. I mean, literally, he should not have lost. And my reason I'm for this is because transgendered healthcare, for example, is going to be covered, and you're going to be paying more money for transgendered healthcare. You do know 2 million people, or at least, are transgender, and because of it, the American people will be paying there's going to be spent about $4 billion over the next 10 years, probably about 4 to give or take with sex changes and $2 million. They said it could also top up to like $1 to $3 trillion over the next 20 years for sex changes. So technically, the American people will be paying for it. And you guys will be paying for that over getting your livelihood back. You might lose your house. You might lose your car because of the pandemic. Don't worry. A man in a dress is going to have a sex change, and it's going to be covered by you. So, anyways, basically, like I said, right now, the $2,000 is for anyone who didn't get the $600 down payment, the $1,400 top-up. No one knows. Right now, they're trying to discuss income level. Now, I did some research for you guys for stimulus reasons, okay? Something that you might want to, hello, Octavian, someone who wants to talk about this thoroughly, okay? And that is, you might laugh at this, you might hate this, you might cry at this. American people need to realize that in 2 years, whoever controls the House and Senate they're only allowed 3 budget reconciliation passes. So that's the rule. 3 every 2 years or something. So for example, the House passes it by itself. The Senate gets 3 or 6, I believe. I think it's 3 budget reconciliations to swiftly move something. So they got to take into account. Will this pandemic get better? No one knows. With vaccine money not being produced, the vaccine companies can't keep up. They can't get 100 million vaccines in 100 days. That's impossible. I mean, literally. The rumor has it was like 50 million vaccines given to people in this pandemic and stimulus update. 50 million people in 9 months, Operation Warp Speed. So 9 months. Not including some vaccine makers are saying there's a lot of problems, complications. So you got to look at the complications. But what's he going to do to the people? The eviction moratoriums don't run out till February 28th. Unemployment runs out March 14th. And they want to get something passed before then, but I think what's going to happen is they're going to run down the clock before you see any money. So, in the meantime, your best bet is to take up a hobby while you're waiting for your $1,400 top-up. That's all I can say to you who's tuned in. There's 8 people tuned in, so I want to say that. In the meantime, take up a hobby. Do something because you're going to need passing. And, they're going to be debating. And you got to realize when it comes to debating at stimulus checks, the reason they're debating the stimulus checks is because they don't want Social Security disability to get it. They think people on disability insurance, fuck them. They want no money for SSI people. They're freeloading bums, in their opinion. Everyone's freeloading bum. You have cancer, go ahead and die. They don't want veterans or railroad getting it. They don't want survivors or retirement getting it. And they're not listening to the people. I mean, literally, if you look at the people, right? The reason Amazon took the pantry away, too many people are using it during the pandemic. They couldn't keep their orders up. And 2 is the American people need to realize that Amazon knew Biden was getting in, so they pulled the plug. They literally just pulled the plug. Now, trying to find something that's EBT accessible is a different story. Literally, it's like, on that aspect. So, but anyways, I don't want you Amazon Music. I hate Amazon Music. I don't pay for Amazon Music. So, the bottom line is the American people want their stimulus check so bad, but they got to wait. So, the best course of action is to wait, to write it out. So anyways, I just told Hannah, I am live for a couple minutes. So, but anyways, where you guys want stimulus check updates, I know it's not the best update. That's why I told you that I wanted to take a break because there's too many people out there. Well, Octavia, it's good to think that. That's why I've been playing Harvest Moon. Sorry to say. Playing Harvest Moon, passing in time for the new story season to come out. But on a side note, the reason I took a break is because I needed to regroup, and 2 is there's no news. Since Biden came in, what did he do? He sent executive orders. Everyone's praising him for giving sex changes back to the people. And you, the taxpayers, got to pay for it. Mr. and Mrs. John Q. taxpayers paying for it. And yet, they're debating on income levels. You see, the advisors told Biden and the Congress and Senate to get the money into the hands of the low-income people, the ones that work at restaurants, the waitresses that are on furlough, or the hotel industry, or others, right? Because a lot of hotels are shut down, and airlines and other people. But the point is they're turning around, Octavia, and what they're doing is they're debating. I say 150,000 is basically rich. Those rich people are getting a stimulus check. Knock it down. Well, do you think they're going to really agree to 75,000? There's people who make 75,000 working at home right now. Nope, they got to knock it down again. If they make it to 50,000, they're going to have to look at the income level and make sure they can actually meet the threshold needed. But at the same time, the other problem is you got to look at consumerism too. I mean, what people are buying right now is paper towels, shampoo, conditioner, body wash, household essentials. So some company is making a killing right now on that, but for everyone else, it's different. The other problem is they want us to stay until at least September. So if they need to keep us in until September, they're going to try to tell us that we have to stay until September. And because of it, they need to pay us. Fortunately, they don't think they think that people like us get a monthly check, so it's fine. We don't need it because think of it. I mean, I've talked to a lot of disabled people and retirees that say that they would be spending their money, the retirees would be putting it in to the bank. Now, the disabled, they'd be spending it foolishly. That's why I told you to prepare for the worst. I mean, literally, what do you got to do? You got to make sure you get it. I got paper towels. I got toilet paper coming in. Shampoo, conditioner, no body wash right now, bar soap. There's people out there that went in and swooped up, bought everything that wasn't nailed down game-wise, gaming-wise, and video game-wise, and everything else. And it makes everyone look bad. That's why the people... Again, what the hell? Do I gotta sit down here because it doesn't want to fucking work? So basically, my connection's unstable at Figures. I'm running fiber optic internet. It seems someone's draining the internet tonight. That's why I'm kind of wonky. Probably have to clear the memory again too. But you know, I haven't restarted in a couple of days. I've been playing games so much that you know that I just switched the TV selector. But no, basically the American people are suffering to no end, and that's the big problem here. And yet, the other problem is the Senate and the Congress that wanted your vote, got your vote, and now they don't give a shit. They're like, fuck you. We got voted in. You bought our lives. That's why, you know, Dan and P, we've talked, you know, there's only a few politicians, non-politicians you can trust in the world. The rest of these career politicians, you can't trust them. Look at Biden. He promises stimulus checks if he gets voted in. Where's the money? A week after he gets in as of tomorrow, and where is it look, huh? Nowhere. And that goes into, you know. So basically, what you're dealing with is no stimulus and a lot of lies. And as Octavia said, you know, I'm starting to think we're not. Well, that's the thing. We might not. No one knows. And that's the thing. That's why I'm sitting back. I mean, if it is, it'll be March or April because remember, as of February 9th, they're moving. They're going to have to juggle the impeachment trial to convict, and they're going to juggle something else. Literally. I mean, they're going to need to do whatever they can to get it done. And it's not pretty. It's literally really not pretty. Now, there's people out there wanting their money, and they're not getting their money because of it. That's why I spent the last 40 hours plus playing Harvest Moon, because there's nothing that can be done. Literally, nothing can be done. Literally, you know. And because of it, the American people are suffering. And yet, no one cares. They're worried about impeaching Donald Trump to keep him from running again, and to keep him, and then in the meantime, they're hoping the Democratic states will sue and keep him from running again with no money. Third is they also think that people will waste it. I mean, literally. I mean, I've been thinking about a lot of different things too in the last since I last posted a video, and I got to tell you that, like I said, the reason I stopped is I knew that the stimulus news was going to be trickling down. It's like slow trickle. You know the old trickle down method. Well, you get it, and then it trickles down. Well, the stimulus news is trickling down. I mean, literally, when they bring something up, it's usually 16 Republicans aren't on board because the income threshold. Well, you lower the threshold. But then when they lower it, they'll be like, well, you know, now that you lowered it, we're not comfortable. We'll give you more money. So that delays unemployment. That delays vaccine manufacturing. That delays opening schools. That delays I mean, literally, the entire country is down the shitter, and everyone's basically, I mean, everyone's working around the clock, and yet that's not good. That's why, it's not good. I mean, to me, the American people are suffering to no end. And you guys, you see these clickbait or stimulus checks coming next week or next day or next month, and it's not true. Stimulus checks will come when it comes. No one knows when. That's the thing. I've been told March to April minimum, maybe even May, depending on how delayed they are. I mean, Biden wants to pass it by February 9th, but he can't because no one's negotiating. That's the thing. No one's literally negotiating. They basically did House rules for the Senate impeachment over, So, tomorrow will be another day where, unless a stimulus update comes in that's worthy, I'm doing this tonight to let you all know that the American people are suffering. Pretty much literally suffering to no end. I mean, look, grocery stores are being filled slowly. People can't afford anything, so they're being restocked. Fortunately, the American people, that's a different story, Now, Chloe, of course, was saying, "Oh, we're not getting a stimulus check." I was like, "Yes, we are. It's just a matter of when, if, when and if." I mean, literally, American people. It's been. So, you guys want to hear the joke? I'll tell you the joke now. It took almost 9 months for the second stimulus check to come. 9 months. They're saying it could be, could be 9 months again. No one knows. So. So, does anyone have any questions and concerns? Because, like I said, this is the best news I can get. In the last 5 days was, However, just remember what I said. They're more worried about paying for sex changes and having Mrs. and Mister John Q. taxpayer pay for it than giving stimulus checks. They don't give two shits. They want to make blacks equal, trans equal, gays equal, lesbians equal. And they don't give two shits if you like it or not. That executive order in the next presidency could be reversed, which I hope it is, because right now we don't need that kind of thing in this economic struggle. What we need is stimulus checks. Unfortunately, some people are better off than others, depending on how well stocked you are. Like Pee Wee and myself, we're stocked well. Other people, they sit there and they dwell on that 1,400 day in and day out. And that is what's really bothering the people right now. I mean, you can't dwell on it. My motto is this: God's going to give it to you in His time, not your time and not Congress and Senate's time. This country has basically been sold up to Chi-Com commies. And it's not good. It is not good at all. So, So in the meantime, as I said, I've been devoting my time to Harvest Moon. I got a lot to do in it. The game will take several hundred hours. That's why I told my cousin or my sister to eat what I want at Christmas, because I spent hundreds and hundreds of hours playing it. And then when the next game comes out, I can play that one too. But point is, it's just a waiting game. I mean, in the meantime, like I said, while you're waiting in a pandemic, you might want to clean your house, watch TV. I mean, honestly, I'll tell you what's going on also with me, is I'm getting tired of passing time, waiting for a stimulus update. I mean, literally, I'm a gamer, so that's what I do. But same time, there's no news. How do you give news when there is none? When everyone makes video every day, like Jimmy and Lala Late and other clowns that are telling nothing but lies, like Big said, or The other day, Pee Wee sent me a link to something, and I basically emailed her and I said I watched it, but it was clickbait. I mean, literally. That's why there's little channels like this that basically tell the truth, tell the damn truth. And the truth is, you got to wait. You're basically a big ocean liner going towards the Titanic, and you're slowly sinking. And you just got to wait for help, wait for lifeboats, wait for things to come. Because the American people, a lot of them, the disabled, think they're entitled. They're not. American people are hurting. I mean, a lot of you out there, Another thing is, my cousin Dinky emailed me the other day, today, I think it was, and asked me if I read Biden's 180-page bill or thing on whitehouse.gov. Why? Why would I want to read 180 pages? Not worth it. I asked my cousin-in-law to break it down to the synopsis. I was like, just give me, break it down for me. What isn't, why is it? I mean, literally, to me, the entire country's gone down the toilet. And we're not going to recover. That's the thing. If China is going to an all digital currency, then they're doing something right. At the same time, China is basically getting things lined up, whereas our countries, we're failing. And that's why I keep saying that if you have money, don't spend it foolishly. But no one wants to listen. It's like Pee Wee said, stockpile up. I mean, listen, the government is telling us right now, as we speak, that we're supposed to be stuck indoors until September. Does any of you guys understand stuck indoors until September? I mean, literally, to me, that's just basically bullshit. So, if any of you want to leave, that's fine, because I know we have 8 people and only Octavia's commenting, and I have to use the restroom. So, I will take my device with me, and I will be back after the bathroom. Usually, I'm having a bowel problem. So, you guys want to talk about stimulus? That's fine. I'll be right back. My answer, Dust Tour, is simple. I don't agree to it at all because, well, stimulus checks and the pandemic should take priority. He's basically rolling back everything and saying, look, Mr. and Mrs. John Q taxpayer has to pay for government subsidized or government issued sex changes when the American people are truly suffering. So that, let me ask you this, Dust Tour. What would you think of that? Think about it from the perspective of the taxpayers. I'm trying to run in 2024 for president, but I want you to think about that. Think about it. I don't feel it's necessity, all right? I think it should have been banned, all right? People should not be having the government pay for changes during a fucking pandemic. I mean, literally, it's saying that a man who goes and gets a vagina basically has more rights than a fucking genetic woman. I mean, literally. Do you know why they did this? I'll tell you exactly why, okay, since you asked about it. The reason they want to protect the trans women and trans men is because they all get fucking abused. Literally physically abused. To a point of no, I mean, think of it. A guy sits there, right, and has a sex change, Dust Tour, and then turns around, okay, and basically either gets raped because the guy basically rapes him to make a point, or two, he gets bloody murdered because his buddies and him, the guy and his buddies, find out that one of their buddies slept with a former dude. And the former dude thinks that they're more female than a genetic woman. I think it's wrong. Well, let me ask you this, Mr. Dust Tour. Would you fucking sleep with a tranny? Would you? I mean, literally. Oh yeah, exactly, exactly. I agree completely. Same with locker rooms and bathrooms. I would not in the '80s. They wouldn't even consider letting a boy transition to a girl and be in a locker room. Now it's we got to accept it. No, we don't. What we're doing is this. Yeah, let me tell you what I think, Mister Dust Tour. Okay, I'm an ordained minister. Okay, I believe the end times are here. Jesus and Paul basically put in the end times and everything else will happen because this country is lost God. God's not with this country. This country is not with God anymore. God's gone. God's been taken away from schools. God's been taken away from so many things, you know. I think God's punishing. Honestly, I think God's punishing. God's turning around, right, and saying, Dust Tour, you forget you forsaken me, so I'm forsaking your fucking country. And I think that's what happened. There's people that believe in God like I do, but I think this country's gone down the shitter. Look at the moral values, the moral values. You know, you got rumor going around. Okay, they're rumors. Donald Trump's a racist and hates blacks and hates trans and hates this. And no, Donald Trump was saying, look, taxpayers shouldn't be paying for it. You know what's going to happen in our military? So many trannies are going to join the military, and then the military is not going to be battle ready for another 4 years. Our moral values and standards are gone. Look at the greed in this country, Tuss, right? I'm going to call you Tor. Sounds cool. Tor. Think of it this way. The moral values has gone down the shitter when it comes to stimulus checks. People are so worried about their supplying their kids with food and shelter that everyone out there, the trannies, are doing a tranny dance again. Praise the Lord, Biden. The Lord's been forsaken. Most trannies are atheists. They don't care. God forsaken them and didn't make them a woman in there when they prayed. So they had to have a sex change at the taxpayers' expense. Look at John and Mrs. Q taxpayers tour. Comes the baby poppers. They keep popping babies out so they don't have to work. Literally. I mean, what type of moral values is it? The Torah and the Mahabharata and the Gita and the Upanishads, they all say, you know, I mean, there's too many people. Look at the financial markets, okay? Let's talk about the greed in this country. The greed. Do you really think every fucking American's going to follow suit with Elon Musk and his electric cars? No, they're not. As long as the companies support big oil, they're not going to do it. I mean, look at the greed in this country. The greed. Poor get poor, the rich get richer. Look at Amazon, for example. The motherfucker had to close up his pantry. I don't know if he still takes food stamps, but his business is, and on top of these backlog, too many people ordering stuff because of the pandemic. Meanwhile, the pandemic is playing a big role in things, and yet no one is basically doing what they do. Oh, yeah, and the rest of us are suffering. I'm on disability, okay? So I can understand why people hate me. There's two types of people in this world, Tor, that hate me. One, it's the trans community. They hate me because I'm outspoken. You know how many people? My husband made a video on another channel, 7 types of transgenderism. Most trans people are either fetish or they want to be taken care of for life. They get tired of wanting to provide for their girls, so they become a girl. And yet, next thing you know, they're fucking a single man with a vagina, living the rest of their life miserable. Or, and they say, oh, well, I must be miserable. Look, I was born hermaphroditic, okay? I was born both. I've had surgery to correct it all, but no one needs to talk about that. My point is, I don't like the trannies because they're like, oh, look at me, I'm so hot. Guys want to stick their dick in me because I'm hot. They don't care. No. The ones that take the trannies are the rejects, the rejected disabled people and others. Those are the ones. But the rich are getting richer, the poor are getting poorer, and the moral values in this country's gone down the shitter. I mean, look, God's punishing people. Think of it. God's sitting there, I'm ordained, right? I can tell you this. God's turning around and saying, look, you guys are allowing same-sex marriages. You're allowing lesbians to be mommies. You're allowing gay men to be daddies. You're allowing men to become women and women to become men. The moral values of this country are gone down the crapper. You're allowing the Democrats to basically fund these things. Has anyone ever realized the word Democrat means demons? They're more demonic than the Republicans. The Republicans have values, but the Democrats, they just want to keep funneling money in it. Oh, we got to accept that one there. They want to be a woman, so we have to accept it. If we don't accept it, it's hate crime. You know what would fix this country, and I don't condone it, and I don't condone violence, but someone put president in it and got rid of all these more unmorals, we would be better off. But no, we can't, because everyone has their own fucking opinions. And that's the truth. Truth is we got to pay for it. Got to pay for the baby poppers because the government's their daddy. We got to pay for the sex changes because it's morally correct. And yet we got to let mommies and daddies who are gay and lesbian be parents. It's morally correct. No, it isn't. It's immorally. The Bible stated in Timothy 2:3-1-7, the end of days. Has anyone read that one? The end of days, Tor. The end of days is here. And that is because the country's gone down to shitter. Jesus talked about the word pestilence. Now in the the Passion Translation, it's called virus or pandemic, an epidemic. Here, I'll read it to you again. I'll read it to you, Tor. I have like Bibles like crazy. So right before Hebrews, there's a thing called Timothy. Timothy, right here. You should also know this, Timothy, that in the last days there will be very difficult times. For people who will love only themselves and their money. Think about it. How many people out there, Tor, loves money right now? They're worried about stimulus checks. They will be boastful and proud. Remember, they're boasting and prouding. Sex changes are covered. Scoffing at God. Where's God right now? Disobedient to the parents. Most of them are. Ungrateful. Most of them are. They will consider nothing sacred. Most of them are. They will be unloving and unforgiving. Most of them are. They will slander others and have no self-control. Most of them are. They will be cruel and have no interest in what is good. They will betray their friends. be reckless, be puffed up with pride, and love pleasure rather than God. They will act as if they are religious, but they will reject the power that can make them godly. You must stay away from people like that. They are the kind who work their way into people's homes and win the confidence of vulnerable women who are burdened with the guilt of sin, controlled by many desires. Such women are forever following new teachings, but they never understand the truth. You see? Right there. Doesn't that end equal up to the end of days? Read Revelations. It says right there, Revelation. What you're dealing with. Here's the Passion Translation, by the way. That's a newer English version. Hold on a sec. The end of days are here, and yet the country has gone down the toilet. Why? Oh, yeah, we are, but it's getting worse. I mean, think of it. How many people in this world, Tor, are really godly? They talk about God. They talk about, look at Biden. Did you know I was talking the other day? I do a school. I do Bible courses in school on Zoom, free courses. You just buy the book. And a lady is from Mexico living in Canada. Nice lady. She's very pretty. I told her that. And she, had my father and my father-in-law, and we do these courses. So they do us in breakout rooms. And this lady was sitting there. Well, me and my dad, I call him Dad. He's my father-in-law. My husband died 4 years ago. And my husband was very outspoken in the trans community too. But the lady had a great heart. And me and my dad had to bite our tongue because Catholics. Most of the world's either Catholic or Muslim or atheist. And God's being forgiven around the world. And that's the truth. I mean, think of it. I mean, look at it. Jesus says there would be pestilence, famines, earthquakes in diverse places. Well, let's look. Earthquakes caused by volcanoes in diverse places or remote places, Tor. Pestilence, which means pandemic, virus, flu, it could be like anthrax, it could be Ebola, it could be the Black Plague, it could be coronavirus. I mean, remember a few years ago, we had the swine flu. Yeah, I mean, think of it. This is the pandemics that Jesus was warning us about. Jesus says after the temple is gone, there's going to be things, but that is only the beginning until the end comes. But Jesus said it's going to get worse, Tor. Literally, he said it's going to get worse. Look around. Look what's happening to the world. Same-sex marriages, which I did a same-sex wedding, okay? So I don't mind same-sex marriages so much as I don't feel the taxpayer should be paid. My opinion is marry whoever you want. Problem is, as long as you're not, as long as you're miserable like everyone else in their own marriage. But trans are doing it for the wrong reasons. I mean, there's 70-year-olds going, oh, I'm trying to change now. 70 years old. Come on. You're too old to have a sex change. You should just give it up. I have a grandmother that's 96 or 97 now. Can't remember. I'll have to wish her a happy late birthday. But she couldn't get an operation. The doctor patted it on her back and said, well, we're paying for sex changes, but we can't cover your hernia operation. At 96, what's that tell you? Literally, the country's gone down the shitter. People are dwelling, Tor. I mean, look. Let's talk about why the moral values in this country are wrong, based on stimulus. People are foolishly spending the money foolishly. My sister has been praying. My sister works at Walmart as a secondary job. She's praying that the $1,400 top-up doesn't come because Walmart will be flooded with people buying TVs and games again and stuff. Literally, Walmart would be picked clean again. And I mean, think of it. How many people out there, Tor, would literally spend on Social Security disability, SSI, veterans, railroad, VA, or veterans, disability insurance and retirement, the 6 programs, the 6 major goals. How many people out there, Tor, would spend it righteously? No, they'd go out and spend it on whatever they fucking want. They get a monthly check, so they don't care. But everyone else is suffering. Look at my cousin Dinky, for example. She wants to sell her house and move to Texas because she can't get a job in fucking Oregon. Literally, The country's gone down the fucking shitter. Plain and simple. I wonder who that is, email-wise. That better not be my dad. Nope. That would be my cousin Dinky. So my cousin Dinky messaged me. She sounds upset at me right now. Sounds kind of upset. She basically wrote me an email that says nothing of this president will affect me. Well, it doesn't affect me either. I could give two shits about this presidency. Nothing. I live my life the way I want to. Always I'm free spirit. So am I. That's why I basically gave up doing stimulus updates because, frankly, there's too many people in the disabled greed market that's messaging me wondering on SSI when their money's coming because they claim they're entitled to it, you know. Just wanted something to converse about. Point is you know, it's all good. Please disregard the last message, and from this point forward, disregard any favors I may ask on a whim. I humbly apologize for any inconvenience. So basically, you know, my cousin Dinky shouldn't be mad at me about it, you know. So, you know, thing is I was kind of upset about Texas, but, you know, my point is it's her life. She's got to live free-spirited, and I agree. But comes to this thing with Biden's thing, you know, that's a different story. So my cousin shouldn't get mad at me for that, you know. I do care for her deeply, so. Anyways, to everyone, you guys heard my opinion. Tor, I gotta go because I think I gotta go. Anyways, I got a Zoom call I gotta do now. But my point is, you know, I gotta go. So, Tor, if you wanna, oh yeah, it's a Zoom call. My cousin just upset, you know, because of whatever. But anywho, I love my cousin dearly, so they're family. But anyways, Tor, please subscribe if you haven't, because I'm when I do come on here, I do usually do updates on stimulus and whatever questions you may have. So, with that said, to the rest of you, you know the drill. Please add, subscribe, please post comments, leave feedback, suggestion, hit the like, subscribe button, wholesome funny for your family, including your dogs and cats, your bunnies, your service dogs. Thanks for watching, everyone, and God bless you in everything you do.